Once upon a time, in a kingdom shrouded in mystery, there lived a princess named Cammy. Princess Cammy was known throughout the land for her beauty and grace, but there was something else that set her apart. Every night, when the clock struck midnight, Cammy would disappear from the palace and venture into the enchanted forest. In the heart of the forest, there stood an ancient oak tree, its branches reaching up to the sky like gnarled fingers. And it was here, under the silvery light of the moon, that Cammy would dance. The forest creatures would gather around, mesmerized by her graceful movements as she twirled and leaped with abandon. Despite her nightly escapades, Cammy's secret remained just that, a secret. None of the palace guards could explain her disappearance, and the king and queen were at a loss as to where their daughter went each night. One night, however, a brave young prince from a neighboring kingdom stumbled upon Cammy's midnight dance. Entranced by her beauty and grace, he watched in awe as she moved in perfect harmony with the forest around her. When the dance came to an end, the prince revealed himself to Cammy, declaring his love for her. Cammy was surprised, but pleased, for she had longed for someone to share her secret with. Together, they danced through the night, their laughter ringing through the forest. As the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, Cammy and the prince returned to the palace hand in hand. The king and queen were overjoyed to see their daughter so happy, and they welcomed the prince with open arms. From that day on, Cammy danced not only for herself, but for all the kingdom to see. And every night, as the clock struck midnight, the people would gather to watch the princess and her prince dance under the moonlight, their love shining as brightly as the stars above. Princess Cammy hoped you enjoyed the story, would like you to subscribe our Ritzy Lucy channel. Once upon a time, in a kingdom shrouded in mystery, there lived a princess named Cammy. Princess Cammy was known throughout the land for her beauty and grace, but there was something else that set her apart. Every night, when the clock struck midnight, Cammy would disappear from the palace and venture into the enchanted forest. In the heart of the forest, there stood an ancient oak tree, its branches reaching up to the sky like gnarled fingers. And it was here, under the silvery light of the moon, that Cammy would dance. The forest creatures would gather around, mesmerized by her graceful movements as she twirled and leaped with abandon. Despite her nightly escapades, Cammy's secret remained just that, a secret. None of the palace guards could explain her disappearance, and the king and queen were at a loss as to where their daughter went each night. One night, however, a brave young prince from a neighboring kingdom stumbled upon Cammy's midnight dance. Entranced by her beauty and grace, he watched in awe as she moved in perfect harmony with the forest around her. When the dance came to an end, the prince revealed himself to Cammy, declaring his love for her. Cammy was surprised, but pleased, for she had longed for someone to share her secret with. Together, they danced through the night, their laughter ringing through the forest. As the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, Cammy and the prince returned to the palace hand in hand. The king and queen were overjoyed to see their daughter so happy, and they welcomed the prince with open arms. From that day on, Cammy danced not only for herself, but for all the kingdom to see. And every night, as the clock struck midnight, the people would gather to watch the princess and her prince dance under the moonlight, their love shining as brightly as the stars above. Princess Cammy hoped you enjoyed the story, would like you to subscribe our Ritzy Lucy channel.